I'm pretty sure we're live from Rated R Studios. I don't know where the fuck we are today. This is gonna go off the rails. So let's get into it. I got Rated R Randy,
What's happening?
Papa Schroeder.
What up? You can get my intro phrase off, dog.
Fuck your entry. And Roddy Ray.
Shit, in my house, nigga?
God damn, man.
Niggas is super brolic. Me and Ray almost fought, nigga.
Bro, today is just a destructive day. I'm gonna call it Rapskis.
You already tried to silence my voice of liberty, so
Oh God! And it's hey, bro, this man put on the Richard Spencer voice and everything. Silence my voice of liberty. Ben Shapiro face ass.
Here we are. How's everybody doing?
here we go.
And not in the best of moods, apparently.
Apparently not.
It's a powder cake in this motherfucker.
It's not going well. Help us. It's got to be a numerology explanation for this, dog.
Bro, don't make me do it.
It's got to be, bro.
It ain't.
We don't need that kind of fan base. Don't start.
I mean, but I'm sure, like, behind the scenes, Ray
More than likely.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go into it though.
But
What are we going into?
sports. UFC.
Yeah, sports are somewhat back in our lives.
Somewhat.
Somewhat, you know what I'm saying? Halfway.
fact.
They half stepping. UFC has done 2 events within a 4-day span? Saturday and Wednesday. Saturday's fights were crazy. Like top to bottom.
Ferguson lost.
Yep, the streak has been broken.
Hey, what did I say when we left out of here last week?
Shut up.
What did I say?
Stop cursing people, bro.
I didn't
If
curse
you like
this.
anybody, let me know. I'm done rooting for that person. You are cursed. You are fucking cursed.
I'm with Khabib on that.
How do you
Khabib
go
Tony?
Oh, I was like, how do you go Khabib when it's Tony versus...
No, I'm just
Justin.
saying, like, I didn't have no stock in Tony Ferguson, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really care who won that fight. But I just knew with the way Khabib and Tony was cursed that he was
Yeah,
going to
because,
lose.
nigga, you put energy into that curse. And you are the curse.
Exciting card, though.
Yeah.
Exciting card. I think the only thing that could have made it better was with fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have definitely made it a little bit better. Everybody delivered, though. Because Henry Cejudo, this man, he low-key clutches shit.
Yes.
This man caught a headbutt, got split open, and then finishes the motherfucker, like, in 30 seconds after that?
Damn.
Against Dominic Cruz. You know what I'm saying?
And now he's entertaining a boxing match with Ryan Garcia.
I saw that.
Yeah, I really hope that doesn't come to fruition. I'm kind of tired of this shit.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I just don't think Ryan Garcia earned enough strikes to be talking shit like that. And trying to do
How many
those
belts
type
does
of
he
fights.
hold?
Exactly.
Who was he beat?
Exactly.
I ain't gonna say you're nobody, but like you're still a prospect, bro.
Exactly.
But that could be a huge stepping stone to bait an MMA guy to jump over that, isn't going to have the same credentials standing up that you have.
Yeah, but
I get it.
I
That's
feel
like
like
that's like padding a record to me.
I feel like when you start popping that shit and trying to get that fight off, you gotta accomplish something in your field first. Something of significant magnitude.
Exactly. Like
You think for the person that's not crossing over?
yeah, that's what sells it. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're seeing two
I don't think
extremely
so.
high level guys. That's the appeal of it to me. You're always seeing 2 high level guys fight.
What did Levi say? What did you say?
I don't think that's what sells it. I think what sells it is MMA versus boxing.
Ah, hell no. No.
Because like think about it, Conor and Floyd, right? Pinnacles of their sports, high level guys. Like Floyd held how many belts in how many different weight classes? Probably like the most accomplished boxer of like the 20th century, so on and so forth. And then you got Conor, 2-weight divisional champ, right? That sells. That fucking sells, right? And then like how Clarissa Shields wants to cross over, right? She wants to fight the 2-weight division champ Amanda Nunes. And Clarissa holds what? 3 different belts in 3 different classes? That sells. That helps sells itself. It's supposed to be champ versus champ. I don't want to see some prospect against a champ. That's not it. That's not it.
One-sided. That's
not it. Just to me. That's just me.
I just think when you're looking at the disparity of talent compared to what Cejudo would be in a boxing ring, I just think it's smart. I mean, just like Couture versus Tony. When they fought, neither one of them were at the top of their game, but it sold because it was boxing versus MMA.
Did it sell?
Yeah, it depends on your definition of what's selling.
I guess I don't know the numbers, but I mean, it was a fairly big event, and it was pretty hyped up. 118.
Who's the main event on that one?
Penn Edgar 2. Yeah.
I'm gonna attribute that more to like Penn. To be completely real, because like that was so novel. You know what I'm saying?
If anything, I think you'd yes, but at the same time, I mean, it's Randy fucking Couture.
At
that time period, I mean,
I'm not. And then you got to remember something. The buying power of the MMA fan base was like relatively small at that point. It was super niche at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know. I'll bet good money that event didn't do over 500,000 buys.
Probably not.
Right.
I'm coming at it more of, I guess, a hardcore fight fan.
See, and that's the whole thing. They're not trying to do it unless it's going to appeal to casuals too.
Right.
That's why they do it. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. You know, you want to do it more for the niche people, but bro,
I'm just saying, like, we can have that too. We can have it both ways. Is all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. It doesn't have to just be one way, but that's how these promoters see it. They only see it that one way.
Feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
The one thing that I'm like kind of completely done with is MMA going to boxing. Can we stop doing that? Because boxing needs to come over to MMA.
Hey, bro.
Hey. Y'all don't have the A side though.
Huh?
The UFC doesn't have the A side.
What you mean?
And I mean the fighters aren't in position to have the A side of the negotiations. Usually the boxers are in better position financially to negotiate those contracts and have it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Usually, in Ryan Garcia's case, Cejudo will have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the more accomplished guy.
But even then, they're talking about boxing. They're not talking about an MMA fight.
True.
I think that's just a standard that needs to be broken, essentially, by MMA fighters. I think if you want to fight us, if you really want to come and, say, hey, I'll fight this guy anywhere, we'll prove it. Come to the cage.
I think it's more risky business, though, when you're talking... Like, it's easier to... Cause
it's the same thing.
With UFC, with UFC, you already have to have striking in your game. You already have to have striking in your game. In boxing, you don't have to specialize in kicking and being aware of all these different factors. So it's riskier.
I think that's bullshit. That's 100% bullshit.
That's not bullshit.
No, it is, because at the same time, when you're looking at the skill gap and the skill level, somebody that's training jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, whatever, every day compared to a guy that is trained for 20 years on just boxing. It is the same risk going both ways.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this, right? Would you take somebody who's 75% everywhere else against a guy who's just 100% in one specific discipline?
Okay. What do you...
Okay, because, like, all right, there's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, and then, like, Thai boxing, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's 4 disciplines, right? So, let's say you take an MMA guy. He has, he's 75% in all those disciplines, right? Mm-hmm. But then you got a boxer that wants to come over, and he's 100%. He's fucking phenomenal at boxing, right? The MMA guy has a better chance in the boxing ring as opposed to the boxer coming over.
I disagree.
They do.
No.
They do. No, if they have the same amount of time put into both disciplines.
But
it's the same thing both ways.
But you're talking about one guy that hones one specific craft every day of his life. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there is a disparity there.
There is a huge gap there. Mm-hmm. It's huge.
And to me...
But if I have a 12-week camp, and for 12 weeks, all I do is fucking...
Huh? What you gonna say?
All I do is takedown defense?
So you mean to tell me 12 weeks is the equivalent to a lifetime of training?
I didn't say that. I said if you have 12 weeks to prepare for that, you're going to be decently adapt to handle...
Decently? So you mean to tell me a fucking rookie will be able to take on a straight up pro? That's what you're saying.
If you are a top-notch boxer, I mean, it's just like they always say. If you are proficient at one thing, it is a lot easier to become proficient at something else.
I mean, look at...
I'm not saying that he's going to come in there and dominate a fight by
Easier
wrestling.
than the average person.
I'm saying that, right. But in 12 weeks, you're telling me in 12 weeks, you can't understand what takedown defense is? If not, then you probably shouldn't be in any combat sports.
I'm going to say this too, right? With boxing, 16-ounce gloves, the margin for error is pretty wide, right?
Exactly.
4 ounces.
And
Thin,
you're
very
making a case
thin.
for the boxer right now.
Huh?
You're making a case for the boxer in a cage fight right now.
Yeah, but guess what? Like, this is what I'm saying, right? The boxer, in 12 weeks, there's no way you can convince me that a boxer can figure out the slickest way, right?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying because you want it to be competitive. That's what everybody's shooting for, right? There's no way you can make me believe that that's going to be competitive in any way, shape, or form. Unless the MMA guy, like, just entertains the stand-up. Because I know I wouldn't. I know you're deficient at clinch work. I know you're deficient at takedowns, right? I'm going to exploit it. So what incentive is there for me to let you try to get off some shit while standing? What is the incentive? There is none. So, to me, like, at least with, like, boxing, because, like, we seen it, right? Floyd and Conor. Floyd put on a show. He let Conor think he was getting some shit off. Mm-hmm. You know, played around with his food until, what was it, round 6?
So you're essentially describing what you don't want to see in a cage.
Yeah.
For Floyd to, which, I mean.
Yeah, I was annoyed with Floyd the entire fight. I was just like, why are you doing this? Stop. Because, like, now you're letting him think he can box, and he can't. He was a piss poor boxer, bro. Let's just be real.
Not to the proficient level that Mayweather.
Yeah, cause like just I'm saying, cause like compared to Floyd, like his boxing is piss. I didn't want to see that.
But I mean, he still fared better than, you know, a lot of his opponents before.
Floyd let him. Literally, because Floyd. All right, yeah.
Hey, fuck this subject. No, but I'm saying Floyd openly admitted he said he didn't train for the fight, and he just let him kind of go until he got tired, and just went for the kill. But I think the average UFC fans' argument is that MMA is more of a complete fighting art than boxing is.
Mm-hmm. Because that's a whole fight compared to boxing. It's a boxing match,
right? And if you're an expert in the complete art of fighting, as opposed to someone who's an expert in one specific skill of fighting, I think the person that's an expert in everything is gonna have a severe upper hand.
I mean, we've seen it go both ways, right? With people who have no idea, or people who come into the MMA world with zero knowledge of it. I mean, this is very random examples, but we're talking about Brock Lesnar, who had no knowledge of the MMA world. What could he turn it into? And then there's the other example of Phil Brooks, CM Punk, who had the exact same knowledge, and I just don't want to see another Mickey Gall Phil Brooks fight.
Fair enough.
So I mean,
only thing I will say in defense of Brock Lesnar is that he was also a D1.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an extreme difference between the two athletes.
Just like a professional boxer.
Right.
I mean, same
and
thing.
I don't want to continue to take away from this magnificent card that we had, so I'm gonna just end it on this. I think the difference between Conor going to boxing and Floyd going to the UFC is that Conor would end, or the boxing match would end and Conor get knocked out. The UFC match would end and Floyd being killed. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But anyway, back to this fantastic card we have. I don't want to get too far away from it.
Let's not
deviate from that. What's next for Gaethje? What's next for him?
Khabib in September or July. One of the two is when they're shooting for. Sooner the better. But prayers up for Khabib Nurmagomedov's father, Abdullah. I think that's how I'm probably butchering the man's name. But prayers for his father. He's come down with a severe sickness. They said his condition is critical. And all the best.
Facts. Most definitely prayers to Khabib and fam.
What I read, his coach is also in a coma.
Is it
COVID
related or?
Only thing
I don't know.
We don't know.
That's what I read. I don't know if it's 100% true, so I'm kind of like just bringing it.
If I'm not mistaken, like his dad is his coach. That's the only thing. So
makes sense.
There you go.
That's why I just wanted to bring it up. I was like, I was kind of confused by. I'm bad at reading headlines and not reading the article. So So, you know.
Hey, bro, you and like other like 99% of Americans, bro.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Absolutely.
It be
It
like
just said
that.
father and coach, and I didn't think about that.
Damn,
Father,
dad
yeah,
and his
that's
coach.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
He
I
about
was
to
like,
lose
damn,
everybody, bro. It's over for Khabib.
I was like, retire.
Does,
Just retire. It's okay.
What's Gaethje's percentage of beating Khabib?
I put it at like 30 to 40%.
I think this is probably his best challenger he's had in a while.
I think so, too.
He has a decent chance. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, it's over for Khabib, but the fact that like, you know, he's gonna be coming in there under a lot of mental duress. The fans are kind of turning on him a little bit more day by day.
On Khabib?
Yeah,
Really?
People are upset because I mean they're following Conor.
I was
Obviously,
gonna say Connor's not helping.
yeah, because like Conor just is like, oh, defend your belt. And like, you know, he just defended it like last September. Hey, shut up, bro. Give me your belt. But yeah, and like the fact that Conor really thinks he can get back into title contention just off of beating an older Cerrone like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bro, just go ahead, take your trilogy fight with Nate, get your money, and relax for a second.
Man, for real, though.
Just do that. I swear you'll be all right. You'll still come out on top, bro. You're fine. But to not give this man so much power. Francis and fucking Ngannou.
Bruh,
Third fight in a row in under 30 seconds.
Mike Tyson
Or
of the
third
UFC.
win, at least.
Nah, bro. He's because I was telling him, I was like, he got the death touch, bro.
Speaking of Ngannou, did anyone see?
Yes. Yes,
All
I
right,
did.
my man, John Jones has called Francis Ngannou out.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, because
Johnny Bones.
The worst part is he tried
Wants
to
to
compare.
get knocked
he tried
out
to
next.
compare him to
Thiago Santos.
No, he's completely different. Thiago Santos, and worst part is you almost lost to this man, and he had no ligaments in his knee.
Either one of them.
John Jones wants that fight?
He wants to smoke apparently, and he wants to get smoked.
Two things. I would love to see that fight. One. Two, John Jones gets a lot of respect for that.
Oh, no, for sure. Because like
For the past few fights, I've been talking about him being a pussy, fighting.
fighting super conservative,
Right.
all that, right? The
He
fact
got arrested again, and he said, "Bahofowitz, fuck that. I'll go for Ngannou."
Yup. Cause and you know what though? As much as I may talk about DC, kudos to him because during the broadcast he was like, I mean, shit, if I gotta fight him, I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? If Stipe doesn't want to defend that belt,
Ngannou.
yeah, I'll take Ngannou.
I'm not trying to see that shit.
I'm not either.
I think DC would beat Ngannou.
Real shit?
He has a better chance to me.
I think if he just took what Stipe did with him, I won't say like 100% he just would whoop Ngannou because there's always that chance that he
'cause
touches
this
his
is
chin.
this is what I'm saying. He survived, you know, being on the razor's edge twice against Anthony Johnson, right? Got punched across the cage twice by Anthony Johnson. We're talking about a real heavyweight who didn't have to cut weight, none of that. You might get punched through the cage this time, and I don't know if you're coming back from that, Brody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a full bill with you. But no, Jones, if he can actually pull off a win against Ngannou, whether it's conservative or not, kudos to him. Kudos to him. Go ahead and, you know, because, like, I don't really see what Miocic could do with Jones. If you struggle that much with Cormier, I don't really
I think he'd have a better chance against John Jones. And the only reason I say that is really Cormier in the last, since the Volkan Edzmir fight, in that fight, to me, that was maybe his best performance. Just for the simple fact of how confusing his striking is. You know, he's really confusing on the feet, and it just helps him confuse you long enough to get you on your back.
That's fair, because, like, bro, he's been doing, like, this, like, weird, like, zombie style.
And ever since the Edzmir fight, that's when he kind of started that, and Edzmir didn't hardly touch him until he took him down. And Stipe, the last fight anyways, I think was really the first fight where he really played around with it to strike. He probably should have went to the ground halfway through the fight, but...
No, it's because Cormier, he called himself out. He was just like, bro, I let him beat me. Like, I could have had him, and I let him beat me. But,
because he was tagging Stipe early.
Oh, he was beating ass.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched Ngannou's fights before this streak of super short knockouts. Do we know if, or does he have any semblance of a ground game, or?
He has a win by submission. I think he managed to pull off one Kimura before he just started sleeping everybody.
And it was out of a takedown attempt, so it wasn't nothing really.
Yeah, he didn't set it up or anything.
So what was
It
the
wasn't slick?
What was the turning point What do you think he realized before this streak started?
He started
the Derek Lewis fight is really.
He went conservative, right? Because he gassed himself out against Miocic and then just got dominated on the ground after that. Then he was scared to, unload the clip on Derek Lewis. Actually, they both kind of were a bit gun shy in that fight.
About 15 minutes of two heavyweights staring at each
Sparring, bro. They sparred.
Yeah.
And so
Derek
he
Lewis
was just
threw some kicks. That was about it.
And Ngannou realized, I really got some power in these hands. I'm gonna just let it go, and whatever happens, happens. He doesn't I think he just understood the fear of losing is gonna hurt him more than help him. So he just said, forget it. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I'm gonna win. So he just started putting beaters on everybody. He kind of went out there without fear of losing, should I say?
Yeah, I think with him, he kind of just had to go through a little bit of a roller coaster because after the Overeem fight, he really was high on himself.
Yep.
Went into the Stipe fight, gassed, and I think lost a lot of that confidence. And then after the Derek Lewis fight, like Ray was saying, I think he just realized, I just gotta let it go. I mean, I can do what I can do in training, but if I gas, I gas. But you ain't gonna gas in 30 seconds if you're knocking everybody out in under a minute.
Who do you, besides John Jones, who would you guys like him in the fight?
Stipe?
The champ. Whoever the champ
Okay.
is.
Yeah, whoever the champ is.
Because that's it. It's either championship or bust.
He's in a really weird spot because of DC and Stipe, I think.
Oh, and other heavyweights are finally they're speaking up finally because they're calling out Stipe and DC for holding up that division. That division has been held up for the past almost 3 years because of those two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not fair to the division. That's that was my criticism with McGregor for a while. Mm-hmm. He held up the lightweight division, held it hostage. You want to go out and do
the
boxing
matches.
Oh, them too. Until they finally just stripped him of that belt and gave it to Holloway, and he kept it going. So, yeah, that's the only thing. I like the idea of champ versus champ fights and stuff like that, but I hate what it does to its respective divisions.
Mm.
Yeah, it sucks that the Stipe DC is dragged on this long.
Yes.
Because I think we need the trilogy, especially after Stipe winning.
Yeah, no, we have to have the trilogy.
Fight.
We have to. It would be wrong if we didn't. I kind of hate that we didn't get the Jones trilogy, but Jones and DC trilogy.
I'm kind of cool on that though.
But
it's the same thing we get hyped for, then DC starts.
It's just because
technically, wouldn't they have to have 2 more fights to have a trilogy?
All right, bro.
What?
I mean, no, you're right. Because your boy want to.
Didn't Jones win both?
Mm-hmm.
Put the second win in quotations.
You can put quotation marks around a lot of wins in the UFC for anybody. So.
I know.
That's true.
I'm saying because I put quotations on Jones's one loss against Matt Hamill. Because that was a DQ and it was late in the fight when they finally DQ'd him. It could have went to scorecards. To me,
I don't know. In that one, was it? I don't think it was late. I think it was the second round.
I mean, but it was well enough into the second round where I felt like they could have did an emergency scorecard review.
Right, but I don't know. I think that's silly. You broke the rules.
I guess
you deserve to get disqualified. You incapacitated a guy with an illegal strike.
But it's a silly rule.
But it's a rule.
Fair enough.
I mean,
you right.
Yeah.
It's a rule. It's a silly ass rule.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was just more to his him being young and not 100% probably knowing the rules.
True. Any other fights that caught your eye on that card on the
kind of the bizarre fight with Greg Hardy and
Jorgen De Castro?
Yeah. That was bizarre. I didn't think Greg Hardy really won that fight.
No.
He didn't show anything impressive to me. Usually he's pretty, he usually shows his athletic prowess, but that was lacking. He kind of had a pot belly, which is probably a result of quarantine.
Yeah.
So.
And that heavyweight, they can weigh in at whatever, so.
Pretty much, as long as it's under 265.
I think they're kind of pushing Greg Hardy right now.
They're trying. They're trying.
He's going to win more decisions than not.
The main thing I found super interesting about that fight was Greg Hardy's movements. You can tell he's been somebody's been working with him on how to move properly in the cage because he has the athleticism to do it.
He's not a bad fighter.
No, because like he's showing that like he's a rookie. That's it. He's just showing that he's a rookie. Like whenever he gasses out or does illegal things, like he's not well vetted in the sport yet.
Even like him with that, what was it, the late knee?
Yeah.
I didn't fault him too much for that. I mean, it was a little outrageous, but at the same time, like, I mean, what do you expect throwing a rookie in the cage?
Exactly.
Things like that are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Who's your top fighters? Top 5 fighters in the UFC right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now.
Like top 5 best or like personal top 5?
Best.
Yeah.
Damn.
Definitely say Khabib.
Khabib. Stylebender.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been showing his ass.
I'd say that's 1A, 1B.
Nah.
No?
Nah. Khabib is definitely like one, and because he dominates people.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
the caliber of people he's been just putting away.
Bro, and well,
And I'm a Khabib detractor. That's the
yeah,
worst
I guess
part.
you gotta go Amanda Nunes and Valentina, but
Ooh.
Oh, Amanda Nunes is closer to a 1A.
absolutely. And then Henry Cejudo, especially after Saturday night, man, I'm putting him like right at the top.
Damn, I hate he retired, but I understand it. Cold motherfucker.
No Usman? No love for Usman?
His fight was too close with Kobe for me.
Really?
In the fight with
If that-
Woodley, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't finish. Well, he finished Kobe, but he didn't finish Woodley.
He should.
He looked good in it. He should have. Exactly.
He
That's
should've
why
finished
I'm
Woodley.
saying.
I feel you, cause like if that
Woodley was done.
If that fight with Covington had went to scorecards, I would have been super nervous for Kamaru. Super, cause they just traded rounds basically.
That just I think his finishes kind of point to the style of fighter he is. I don't think he's really
A finisher.
knockout
Yeah,
artist
he's a
type.
grinder.
The only thing about being a grinder to be at the top, and we kind of talked about this not too long ago, but you have to be Khabib. You have to absolutely dominate every second of the fight. And I don't think that Usman has really done that. At least at the top level.
Yeah.
He's done that getting his way up there, because like that Dos Anjos fight,
Oh my God,
when
he
he
did him
whooped his
dirty.
ass.
He did him
Yeah.
fucking dirty.
Now with Nunes, I don't really watch enough to really know. Do you feel that her competition is to the level of? Do you think she's being challenged enough?
Yes, I do.
You know what? I was gonna say I'm not exactly sure, but yes, because she's beaten. Probably like outside of her, the best women's fighter in Valentina Shevchenko. And I mean, she did it
Twice.
She did it twice, and I mean, they were razor thin both times. But the fact that she was able to get the edge over her, she's beaten strikers whose pedigrees far surpass hers, as in Holly Holm. What's that lady's name? The Iron Lady. Jermaine Durandamy, and then Chris Cyborg, who was the most feared women's striker for
Facts.
the past decade.
And she put Ronda out in 46 seconds.
When I watch the fights, it seems like the name surpassed the talent. Her opponent's name surpassed their talent compared to her. That's just how it appears to me.
Okay, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
When I watch the Nunes fight, it appears to me that her opponent's names are bigger than their talent level. As
So you're saying
compared
that
to Nunes.
Okay.
Nunes makes them look obsolete.
Their
Basically,
hype,
what
their
I'm
hype,
saying.
Okay.
their hype doesn't represent their ability.
But
Fair
that's
enough.
true, because I mean, look how she handled Cyborg, and I mean, has anyone really talked too much about Cyborg since then?
But I don't want to insult
And
what
it looks-
Nunes is doing.
No,
either.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good on Cyborg now that she's signed with Bellator now. That makes it appear like she ran from the UFC and was just like, yeah, I don't want to fight her again.
No mas.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Because like she's the only lady to put a real stain on her MMA record in the past decade.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She literally had a decade of dominance and destruction against women. And Amanda Nunes brought that to a screeching halt.
I mean, a younger Cyborg probably would have been a better fight.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, they're not that much
No,
different in
but I mean,
age.
we're talking maybe 5 years younger for Cyborg.
Oh, you're talking about Roy
Well,
Cyborg.
Yeah.
Well, and I was about to say, because then think about where Amanda would have been at 5 years before that.
Yeah, losing to Katzagano.
Right.
Well, remember they were. I don't know. It probably wasn't ever going to happen, but they were. Ronda Rousey wanted Cyborg for a while.
And
that would have
not
been
well.
ugly.
How bad do you think Cyborg wishes she would have done anything to make that fight happen?
Nothing, because it would have done nothing for her.
Oh no, it would have did everything for Cyborg.
I don't think it would have done
It would
anything
have
for
knocked
her.
her out.
Well,
She
no,
would've been the
I
first
know
one, too.
she would have.
Because
But
like, think about what it did for Holly Holm. Holly Holm became a household name. She was on Kimmel.
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would have done anything for Cyborg. 'Cause she already had the name, so that
Not
would
a
have
household
been
name. Not a household name. No, because the most prolific
Bigger than
one she
Holly-
had to that was
bigger
Gina
than Holmes
Carano.
though at the
I
time.
think but I think the comparison
That's
here
fair.
is basically like MMA. In MMA, she was a superstar.
Who was Ronda? Or
Cyborg.
Yeah.
But to the rest of the world, Ronda was a superstar. That's
Right.
why Holm got the outside of
Fair.
MMA.
Facts.
She would have become a bigger star.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
feel
The
you.
crossover appeal is
Yeah.
essentially what I'm talking
But I
about.
see what EDJ's saying
Yeah.
also. 'Cause he's saying before all of that,
Yeah.
Cyborg was ahead of Holly
She
Holm.
was.
Absolutely.
No, Cyborg was the woman, bro. She was the woman to beat in MMA.
That was really the first, I feel like, huge fight that I remember women's wise was Carano. Cyborg.
It was.
Yeah.
Because Carano was mad dominant in Strikeforce, and then they put up against, this up-and-comers, Cyborg that not many people knew of, but seen some highlights from, and she got wrecked.
Yeah.
She got wrecked.
Yeah, that was a rough fight.
But, enough about MMA, bro.
Oh, we just got to go over last night real quick.
Dude.
Just because
All right.
I just got to mention Anthony Smith and ask your guys' opinion about. But I know you didn't see him, but you can still relate and give an opinion to. In the fourth round, in between the fourth and fifth round, Anthony Smith is getting his ass kicked. He tells his coach,
My teeth are falling out.
"My teeth are falling out." Are you sending your fighter back out there for a fifth round? And not to his whole face is fucked. Like, he's bleeding.
He has
his ears exploded from cauliflower ear.
God damn, it's disrespectful hitting another man that hard. Good God Almighty.
Dude, Glover was hitting him with some shit. And it was
Yeah,
funny
nah.
because the whole first round was pretty much dominated by Anthony Smith. I feel like. But he wasted all of his energy in the opening round. About halfway through the second round, Glover started pouring it on him and he couldn't take it. So from the middle of the second round to the end of the fourth round, your fighter is getting dropped left and right, getting their ass kicked, and they tell you that, hey, my teeth are falling out.
Yeah, no.
Throw in the
It's
towel.
all
man.
right. We good.
That's it for me.
You tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gave it your all. Yeah.
You're not winning that fight.
Now, did we agree to that I wouldn't stop the fight?
Now, that's not been discussed. That hasn't
You know
been
what I'm
revealed
saying?
by either side, his coaches or Anthony Smith himself. He hasn't said, I told my coaches, let me go out on my shield. But he did say he's not mad at his coaches. He said he goes into his fights on with his shield, and if he, goes out, he wants to go out on his shield. I really want fighters to understand that is an honorable code, but it's very stupid. You have a long life to live. This one fight ain't worth it.
I agree with you, but at the end of the day, that's your coach's job. That's not a fighter's job.
Oh, no,
that's
it's
not because the fighter, I'll say 9 out of 10 times, is going to go out on a shield and wants to go out on their shield. That's why it's the coach's job to throw in the towel.
But what if you reach that agreement with your fighter and you choose to go otherwise with it and you get fired for it?
Then so be it.
I feel like that's a risk. Me personally, if my fighter comes back and his teeth are falling out because the other guy's hitting him so hard, and I know we ain't got no chance of winning this fight.
Right.
What's the point of throwing you out there for 5 more minutes? If I throw in the towel and you want to fire me for it, so be it.
I'm just saying,
Like-
it's just a fucked up position.
It is.
It is.
Nobody
Absolutely.
really wins in that position.
It's just like coaching in any other sport.
Yep.
You know,
True. Yeah.
coaching is really a shitty position when you really think about
Yeah,
it.
bro,
really
it's like
is.
you get all the blame, minimal glory. Especially in fighting, you get minimal fucking glory.
Unless you're a Greg Jackson.
Exactly.
Or
Unless you just turn out like 10 guys who are goats, basically. Other than that, bro, nobody really cares.
Exactly.
But yeah,
It seems the older we get, we put more stock into the coaching, though.
as we should. Because the fighter is essentially a manifestation of a plan that the coach came up with. It is the physical embodiment of the plan.
MMA really is just like the video games. You go in there and said person from this camp has this move, and you learn it from them. It's literally just like that.
It's a video game.
I mean,
and essentially the coach is it's kind of weird. It driver tests. Like how they have the whole steering wheel and brakes and gas on the other side. I kind of feel like it's that way, like with coaching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the coach need be, like, they can kind of take over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I see it.
Absolutely. Well, that's really all I want to talk about last night. I mean, it was. I think that's the only fight I watched. It made me watch it because I saw Chael Sonnen's little video where he was talking about he was disgusted with Anthony Smith's corner. And my first reaction was, damn, Glover whooped him that bad? I was like, hold on, let me go watch this real
I know
quick.
the worst part is I got home. By the time I got home, the fight was over. I managed to catch majority of the card, but that was the fight I missed.
Gotcha.
But, bro, more sports are coming back. Hopefully.
Baseball.
4th of July weekend.
Fuck Rob Manfred. That's first and foremost.
Why fuck Rob Manfred?
Because they pulled a U.S. government on this return. They are taking the designated hitter and adding it to the National League. What the fuck does a DH have to do with coronavirus? That's all I want to know. Equate that to me. That's stupid.
Hey, boy, you are asking the wrong person.
I feel you. But essentially, all right, anyone that doesn't understand the rule, in the American League and the National League are different. The American League has a designated hitter where the pitcher does not hit. In the National League, the pitcher hits because the pitcher is a fielder and all the fielders hit. Now, me personally, as a Cardinals fan, I'm a no DH guy. I don't like the DH. So they're adding it now to the National League as well because coronavirus.
That's very interesting, bro. Who the fuck cares about baseball right now?
Hey, nah, bro. I really need to know. Will I be able to attend a football game? This is what
As season ticket holders, we need
Inquiring
to know.
minds would like to know.
Because
You will. I mean, because the first, you may not be able to go to the preseason games, which is
fuck that.
fine.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
But one,
That home opener, though,
yeah.
Look here, bro. I'm trying to make some moolah.
I want to see a banner drop. I don't give a damn about money.
All that.
once we get into September, I think we're going to get back to a normal fan base reaction for the most part. I mean, it may be a little different, but I don't see why we wouldn't be back at that point.
What's interesting to me is how are they going to handle if I heard him talking about kind of having fans separated in the stands.
How the fuck is that gonna happen?
How is that going? How are you going to operate that with like the SeatGeeks, Ticketmasters of the world? Like they done sold this, and this ticket, and you got a whole row of 22 sitting next to each other, and all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, you wasn't supposed to sell them tickets. What are you gonna do?"
Exactly.
It would have to be a preset. They would have to go in preset.
Absolutely, because if I get an email for a voucher for the next game, I'm calling and cussing somebody out. Hey, I bought my ticket.
On the big, like on the real, like bro. Who I can't remember the dude's name that sold us the tickets, the season tickets, but me and him gonna have a real nice talk. if I get a voucher to the next game, it's about to be rap skis for that man.
Facts.
You good?
Bro, look what the fuck Eric did, man.
What? That's mine.
Why did you open it?
I was thirsty.
You're not supposed to open this, bro. This is a collection item, bro.
Yo!
It's fine. I'll keep the can.
Cokehead.
At this point, we really need a video for that moment.
Fact. This.
So just to preface everybody listening to this, EDJ has opened up his World Championship Coke and drank it.
Slammed it, motherfucker.
So this is
No class.
This is the perfect time to ask the SchroBanks audience.
You barbarian.
Tasted like victory.
How do you feel about opening your World Championship
You
drinks?
don't do it. Leave this shit inside.
I'm not gonna.
I did open.
I'm not gonna drink the beer. I'm not gonna drink
The
it.
night of the draft, I opened up a
Fuck you,
championship wine, but I have another one that I'm not opening.
He has another one. Do you have another one?
I have a beer. I have the beer.
Fuck the beer, bro. It's Coke.
It's Coke.
It's Coke.
It took. I can have a Chiefs World Championship Coke, okay?
That
Another
looks
good
blood-
It took too many damn years to get this, so I can drink it
Which
if
is
I
why
want
you
to.
don't open it.
No.
Speaking of Coke, if you like Coke Raps, you should go and check out top 10 Coke Raps of all time. My man
Plug it.
Rated R Randy and Ray put together.
Get it?
It's nice.
That's a nice plug.
Nice plug.
I fuck with it.
Yes.
Real quick, I know we're not gonna have time to do all three, but we'll do one. what was your biggest heartbreaking moment in sports? For all of you. Just one. Or two. One or two.
Or three.
Or three.
Or four.
As many as you want. How
We
about
might
that?
as well make this a sports pod.
Sure, what
Yeah,
the
this
hell?
is the sports pod.
Sports ball.
For me, was losing the World Series in 2014.
That's number one.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
Easy.
Real shit. Not
Because I'm a bigger Royals fan than I am a Bulls fan.
well. What about Pats fans?
I just attribute that to like magical bullshit. Because the fact that it happened twice, that's magical bullshit. I just like, you can't stay on top forever. You know what I'm saying?
Some magical bullshit called karma.
Possibly. It was magic because like
Was it?
there's no way that shit should have happened.
Was it that heartbreaking and we got that far and we haven't had that much success?
Because I thought it was the breakthrough time.
Yeah.
You know, you hype yourself up, you know, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like you just kind of get yourself in the mode, and then just to keep hearing Joe Buck suck Madison Bumgarner's dick on national television.
Joe Panic again.
Like-
Sweet dude.
Like, bro, like just to keep hearing that shit, I was just like, bro, shut this shit up. And then when we lost and he was right, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had the satisfaction of being right. I was just like, wow. So now he looks like the smart guy, the smart analyst. Fuck him.
Yeah.
All I'll say is the third base coach fucked that shit up. If Alex Gordon goes home, they win the series. If he rounds the corner.
I don't think he gets there.
I think he does. This
don't
isn't
think he
like too old, Alex. This is like
But we're not
Still got some
talking.
wheels.
We're not talking super like healthy Alex either, though.
true.
And I mean, he'd come off an injury already,
Yeah.
so he wasn't 100% in the playoffs anyway. So, and the run or the baller he got to the cutoff right as he got to third.
Yeah.
Question: was Cologne a pitcher in the 2014 or 2015? He was
Christian
on the
Cologne?
opposite team.
Oh,
Or
that
Bartolo.
would have been
Yeah.
15, I think.
That was
Yeah,
2015.
Yeah, for
Okay.
Mets.
I don't know. He
Because
played
I
for.
hated that nigga, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
For real? You ain't
I
Bartolo
love
Colon?
Bartolo Colon.
Bruh.
That man.
I don't hate him. It's just the way he was looking, and that nigga was serving us, bruh. He
At
was
like
servicing.
43.
Yeah, old fat ass nigga,
This
bro.
motherfucker played for like every single team.
I-
Damn near.
Cop like a motherfucker. Shout out to him
Bartolo
though.
Colon.
I hated that fat nigga on the what was it the Padres?
No,
Giants.
Giants.
Sandoval.
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval.
Fuck him, bro.
Hey, it's alright. He got. Well, I guess not for him, but he fucked over the Red Sox.
Cause he caught that last catch that won everything,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. Fuck that.
And
shit.
then signed like a $100 million deal and played like shit for the Red Sox. But so it doesn't lessen the blow at all.
Sounds like Pujols when he went to the Angels.
Yeah. One of the best things that ever happened.
He's
to the
probably
Cardinals.
also like 47, so.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Yeah,
But-
older than what he was listed. But what's up?
So does it soften the blow? It doesn't soften the blow at all for you for 2014 winning the World Series in 15.
I mean, it does, but like just the initial heartbreak, and then just
Yeah.
to see all the fake fans too. That added to it because they was just like, I knew the Royals weren't gonna be able to do it. Kansas City can't have shit. Blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Boy, ain't nothing more annoying than a Kansas Cityan that don't fuck with Kansas City. I swear. Not necessarily don't fuck with Kansas City, but they're gonna tell you shit like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
That
I
shit
was like, you got something you want to say?
No, just with the Chiefs though. You know, people just being like, "Oh, the Chiefs ain't never gonna win shit."
Oh yeah, because bro, you should have
Alright,
seen
man.
these motherfuckers halftime.
It's like
Everybody
week
couldn't
3.
wait. Everybody started
Man,
poo-pooing.
right?
Super Bowl, poo-pooing. I knew it, man. Kansas City can't have shit. Y'all fucked it up when y'all started shooting up clubs. Motherfuckers been shooting up clubs since forever. It ain't because of the Chiefs. It ain't because of the Royals.
I feel like we are awful with that shit though. Like our city is awful with that shit,
Oh, it's time to party. Niggas gotta die.
bro.
Click clack. Nah, it's bad, bro, because these are big facts.
I just had to ask though because honestly, the AFC Championship game losing to the Patriots, like I don't even care anymore. You know, like it.
Oh, I feel you.
That was bad though.
It was bad, but it's like I remember it in a different light. That was supposed to happen for us to get here to this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that being said, I think my worst heartbreak is probably would have been 17, I think, playoff game
Against the Steelers?
against the Steelers where we lost on field goals.
Shit.
I was at that game in the freezing rain for 3 hours.
Man.
Hey, I'll never
Watching
forget,
us lose on field goals.
Bro, I'll never forget. I drove past the stadium. And, like, I was just, like, and it's freezing raining, right? And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Niggas is suffering. And I thought about leaving. I was like, oop. It couldn't be me.
I can't even lie, bro. I was
Let me tell you,
toxic that night. Nah, motherfuckers was walking around, oh, we'll be back next year. Fuck that shit. Fuck next year.
Bruh.
Bro, I ain't gonna hear none of that shit. Fuck next year. Fuck the next 10 years. Fuck them.
What Le'Veon Bell was doing to us in those playoffs games, it was unholy, bro.
Absolutely.
The Antonio Brown catch too.
Oh my God.
The most improbable catch ever.
Oh, yeah, the one where it like popped out and he ended up catching it.
That's why when we look back on the Super Bowl, we deserve that shit, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. You know
All
what?
the heartbreak we went through, we deserve that shit.
That's not number one for me. It's probably number 4, but number 1 is Tennessee, Kansas City in the wild card.
I knew that one was coming.
Oh, boy.
Y'all are bringing us some terrible
That's-
memories, bro.
No, now that one is fucking funny. That's not heartbreaking. That's fucking hilarious. You gotta laugh at
you,
No,
bro.
you gotta laugh at the implosion, bro.
It's-
A nigga threw a touchdown to himself.
No, it's bad when you know it's bad with your team and shit like that. Like I know only certain organizations, like fans of like the Browns, and there's just certain teams that just get the Red Sox, teams like that you just get it when something happens and you see it and you're like, oh, here we go again. It's like, that's a special type of pain, bro. Cause there was a moment that I felt the Texans game. When we started out 14, I was like, oh, here we go again. Let me get a whiskey.
Hit the bottle a little
Oh
bit.
my God, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst part about it wasn't really even, it was the touchdown to himself, which was bad. The potential fumble recovery for a touchdown by Peters at the end that made it seem like we won the game, but they called it back, was probably the icing to the heartbreak. Because, I mean, you know, we had won the game if
feel you.
that's a touchdown.
That's like that Steelers game with the holding call on Eric Fisher.
Oh.
It was bad, bro.
Hey, bro.
We suffered.
Oh.
We suffered. We deserved
We had to
that.
watch some painful
man.
shit.
I did see. I think it was. I can't remember who it was. Somebody on the Chiefs. It might have been Kelsey. Tweeted saying that with the quarantine, this made it really feel like winning the Super Bowl was just a dream.
Wow.
And I kind of feel that because it is just weird that there hasn't been anything since, and it's just that's the last major sporting event.
Cause like y'all haven't been able to really like parade yourselves.
Yeah, it's like we weren't really celebrated to the fullest extent.
Cause like it got cut short.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause like after that they be on all types of talk shows
Right.
and all that shit.
And there was a little bit of that, but then with the virus and everything, and then no NBA playoffs. Baseball hasn't even started. So
Bro, no playoffs.
I feel you. I feel about baseball how you feel about the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
So I feel it.
Cause
Which means
Bro.
you're a weirdo.
It's a more exciting sport
What?
than basketball.
Son.
Baseball is?
Yeah.
All right.
Like today's basketball, a lot more exciting.
Where?
Everywhere.
So,
I don't even want to get into
I was gonna say,
US,
leave out you
Japan, Korea, everywhere.
they got the biggest market in China. Stop the fucking madness, bro.
So, Randy, what was your number 1
Bro, I
moment?
would watch hardball 10 times before I watch fucking baseball.
Jesus.
You know the movie Hardball?
Yeah.
G-Baby?
Bro, so you
Yeah,
gonna,
it's a
good-ass
you
movie.
gonna cry 10 times?
Hmm?
You gonna cry 10 times?
I'd rather cry 10 times
Damn.
than to watch today's baseball. Any baseball.
I would say, damn, today's. What's so bad about today's baseball? This baseball.
But anyway,
I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'd rather watch baseball 10 years ago. I mean, just
Yeah.
like basketball. I mean, I'd rather watch basketball maybe a little longer than 10 years ago.
My team has been rebuilding too long that I just don't care.
I
So,
feel it.
We're constantly rebuilding. But yeah, go ahead.
My most painful sports memory, I have to chalk it up to 2011, losing to the Mavs. Miami Heat, my Miami Heat. Y'all know I'm a Miami Heat faithful fan.
Lost, stomp, crush, outplayed.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
LeBron a hater.
LeBron is a hater because my nigga D-Wade would have got a Finals MVP. Do you know how different LeBron's legacy would be if D-Wade won that Finals MVP though? He would have never recovered. LeBron would have never recovered from that shit.
He got carried. That's what what the narrative would have spoken to.
His ceiling would have been tied with Kobe or right under Kobe. He wouldn't even be compared to Jordan no matter what he did. Even if he went back to Cleveland and win a championship.
That's still some shit to think about, though.
But yeah, that was painful, bro. I mean, it was a time period where the Heat just got together, Big Three just got together. Mm-hmm. Everybody was hating on us.
That was the nail in the coffin for basketball for me. That's like when I was done.
Why? How is that the nail in the coffin? They saved basketball.
I think the opposite. I think they destroyed it. But that's just me personally.
So why didn't the Boston Celtics destroy basketball?
I feel like that was a different. I don't know. Like honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to spin it any type of way. To me, it was just different, just because I don't feel like they. Not necessarily none of them, but I don't feel like they were the magnitude of stars like D-Wade and LeBron was.
They weren't in their prime anymore. I'll give you that. Boston Celtics.
So it was a little different where they just weren't overpowered as fuck. It just felt like. I feel like maybe even the fucking game really ruined it for me, because I feel like when you heard them all get together and then you played 2K that year, it was like if somebody picked the Heat, what's the point of playing?
See, how you feel about that is how I feel about the Warriors.
I mean, I feel you on that too, because I feel the same way about the Warriors.
Because like the fact that like, even though it's genius in nature, the fact that they can spread the floor that wide, you know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, and Chris Bosh already said it too. They did what the Heat did and executed it to perfection. 10 times better than what the Heat did. Because the Heat were so top heavy, they didn't fill out the team the best way. So it was just the three guys. You had Ray Allen. So a couple role players did their job well, but it just wasn't a complete team. You had to depend on the top three way too much. And with the Warriors, it's everybody is lethal on the court.
Well, I mean, and the difference between that is the Warriors, almost all of it was homegrown and home built for the most part. I mean, Curry, Thompson, Draymond Green, until they got Durant, but they didn't need Durant. They just got him.
And,
I mean, that's true.
And Iguodala.
Yeah, but they didn't need Iguodala either. Well,
They didn't need the Finals MVP.
They needed Iguodala.
Did Iguodala come straight from Philly?
No, he came from Denver. I want to say.
Yeah. Started balling out. But yeah, like you were saying, like that team definitely like put the nail in the coffin, because it's just something very hateable about Curry for me. I don't know. I don't really understand what it is, but it's just something very hateable.
At first, I was with you. I definitely disliked him.
Oh no, I respect his game, and like I've grown to like accept him now, but initially, bro, it was so grating on my nerves.
I would say I disliked the fans though. I disliked his fans and the Warriors fans. I think they brought this element of softness to basketball. Yeah, and I know that's with me being a kind of a LeBron fan now. It's like people think he complained and he's soft, but it's just with Curry. It's like you can't talk shit to Curry. You can't shove Curry a little bit. And they don't want you to do that because they're like, oh no, that's our, that's
he's our. He's the ultimate baby face. That's the whole thing. He has no heel in him. That's the thing. But then he does like heel shit, and it's just.
So he's the John Cena of MMA.
Yeah, yeah. That's basically
or basketball. I said MMA,
not MMA. I was like MMA. I was like Steph Curry out here.
I didn't even register in my head that I said that for a minute.
But looking back, I respect what the Warriors did more today than I did at the time they did it. Mm-hmm. I will say this: had they not got KD, they would have only been stuck with one ring.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think the KD thing is and on top of all the shit storm that KD was with the Twitter shit and all that.
Hey, so like on some real, even though KD got the monkey off his back with, the rings, right? His legacy is forever stained, right?
Until he wins one on his own. Until he wins one as the sole leader,
As the guy.
without Steph and without Clay. Yeah.
Okay, that's
It's basically what LeBron did in Miami. Almost cheapened even more.
Oh,
I think it is cheapened it even
oh
more.
yeah, because bro, you joined at 73 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to take that serious?
Right. Exactly.
Did everybody get they top heartbreaks out of the way?
Yeah.
We
Yes,
got
we're
to
on
everybody?
number 2.
So, well, I just want to say with basketball, I don't know if it's going to lead us into another discussion, but with the Last Dance, the last few weeks, seeing some of those highlights and stuff is what really just makes me. It's like when they were showing the was it 94 after Jordan had left and the way that they was passing the ball and stuff. That's the type of basketball I like. I like seeing that. Facilitate the ball, find the open man.
Bro, you gotta get that shit out of here.
So,
Nah,
bro,
bro.
if that's the case,
The
then
Warriors do that
I'm not
even
saying
better
you love
than
the
they do.
Warriors. You just described the Warriors. Stop the madness, man.
With about like 20% of the
You know why
passing.
defense was better back then, bro? Because niggas was slow.
Dead ass.
You couldn't get a step on. Jordan was the only nigga that could really get a step on people, bro.
Well, and I
And
think
fouling
it was
was legal.
Kobe.
for the
that-
most part.
Yeah, Kobe mentioned that in that, I think, was how when he was coming in, it was a lot of older guys.
Right.
And now the league is so young. That,
Bro, and the thing I think the thing that makes me respect basketball a lot today is the fact that everybody's looking to be the next best thing. Because the salary cap is ridiculous. What you can make in basketball is ridiculous now. So you have parents grooming their child to be the next LeBron, the next Steph, the next whoever. You know what I mean? And I think it's just way more competitive than it has ever been. You have way more better athletes. It's just different, bro.
And
Because now all you have to do, my bad, to cut
you
you off,
good,
bro.
bro.
But now it allows for people to only focus on basketball.
yep.
That's all you have to do. Back then, niggas had to focus on real life shit and play basketball.
Fact. I'll say this too. When people be like, "Oh, they let them foul more," barely. I was watching playoff basketball, Bulls versus the Knicks, right? Literally, I've yet to see a slower game. I'm talking about every minute, foul.
Shit.
Foul. Slow fucking game. Like, I was just like, bro, I could watch baseball and this would be a little bit faster. What the fuck? So, when people use that argument, they only use highlights. That's all they're talking about is highlights. They're not talking about an actual game. They're talking about highlights. Because, yeah, you see them foul highlights where dudes get their ass whipped on the way to the fucking hole, right? That's not an accurate depiction. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And just to kind of piggyback off Ray, bro, like, the thing that kind of sealed the deal for me, and you know how I feel about the Miami Heat, and you know that the DVD set you got for me with the games and shit from the 2006. Bro, I went back and watched that shit, and I was like, this is some of the slowest basketball ever. And that's my favorite Heat team.
That's hilarious.
I was like, these niggas are old and slow. D-Wade's the only young nigga out here.
I feel it. But I think that maybe that's part of it. Maybe I just prefer like a little bit slower game than like the speed that they. Just because like to me when I
Go ahead.
when I see like a 137 to 135, my first thought is what the fuck were they doing?
Right.
You know, like.
And you know what? I think you stopped watching a little early.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't able to get adjusted to it.
And it's definitely a snowball effect because I mean it's probably been 10 years since
Right.
Honestly, the last time I remember legitimately watching basketball was the Thunder Heat series.
Damn.
Like
what was that? 2013?
Yeah. Besides this last one, I did kind of. I watched probably like 2
2012.
games.
Yeah, that was 2012.
I watched like 2 games from the Bucks Raptors series.
That was pretty good.
That was a good
That was a
series.
good series. Yeah.
Honestly, the whole the Raptors' whole run to the championship was it was super interesting.
That's really what made me that and just how I don't know. To me, it was just like the Bucks and the Raptors in the finals.
Right?
Because I'll check it out. Because
I mean,
It's
if
new.
you
Right.
Yeah, because I was like, they're not historically playoff teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, especially like Kawhi, like my expectations of Kawhi was mad low when he went to Toronto, and I'm finding out they got a cold young dude named Pascal Siakam. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Y'all made him up. He's not real.
Pascal Siakam, they got OG Anunoby.
Bro, that's why I was like, who are these people? Y'all made up these people. They're not real. They don't exist. Fucking Fred Van Fleet. Now, if that doesn't sound like a creative player name.
That sounds like one of them generated names.
I swear to God. I was like, bro, I gave him like 40 on 2K16. Cut the bull.
Fun fact, that nigga went to Wichita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold, bro.
Really? He's a shocker?
Yeah.
Huh. Good for him.
Cold. I don't even think he got drafted. I think he was undrafted.
Yeah, I think so.
Good
Cold.
for him. Good for him.
But if we do get a playoffs this year, man, you should definitely check it out. It's not, the Warriors are kind of down right now.
Yep.
And niggas is really running two-man teams for real. Like
two-man weaves.
Yeah, two-man weaves.
I was like, say it. Go ahead, say it. You know you want to.
Can two-man weave?
Two men can weave.
That's twist.
It's still a weave.
Number 2.
Call it silky.
Number 2.
Number 2. What do you got?
Are
Right?
you bringing us back to this painful?
Yes, I am.
Trying to get past pain.
God damn.
Get over it. Number 2.
Man.
Look up. Schroeder.
Me.
Yes,
What?
you.
Oh.
Hey, I don't know how long I was gonna hold that shit.
He kept going for like 30 seconds, bro. He just stared. I'm just like, bro, you are oblivious and
I was
shit.
deep in thought. My bad. We are at the about 62-minute mark.
Oh, fair enough. Cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, go ahead. Get your shit.
On the B side.
Get your shit off, Eric.
Oh, I'm going first? Okay.
I assume you're the only one that has this thought.
Yeah, everybody else is done with pain but you. Get it off.
We gotta think of this.
Gotta think about it. Okay. Number 2. Damn. Colts Chiefs. What was it, 2014?
Are you gonna say something? Do something like we wouldn't expect you to say.
Something you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something real personal.
What?
I don't know. Just
Talking about
personally
sports,
hurt.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
personally hurt you.
Oh, man. Beltron leaving the Royals.
Mm.
That was pretty painful.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Not even Beltron. I mean, Beltron leaving the Royals, Johnny Damon leaving the Royals, Jermaine Dye leaving the Royals.
And all
I
three
mean,
of them had great careers.
Those were
right
all
after.
really good players.
Yeah. Because Beltron, the year that he got traded was the year that he broke the postseason home run record with the Astros,
Mm-hmm.
who ended up losing to the Cardinals.
this nigga is petty. Fuck.
I guess mine losing Kareem Hunt,
Interesting.
especially at that time, how we lost him. We were in the.
I just remember that morning at work playing that was it Lisa Salter's interview. It was just like, oh no, man, no, man. I was at work driving around.
Hey, bro, this how I knew we was pieces of shit. Cause even at my job, mind you, I was working for a fucking school bus company, dog.
Oh, right.
So we had work like, yeah, he didn't kick her that hard.
It didn't even lay it clean for real.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look at it, he didn't really take his foot all the way back. Like, it was just half. It was just half.
That was a punk ass.
She
kid.
leaned into it. Like,
Hey, she provoked him, cuz. Come on now.
She was supposed to
but,
leave.
like, that really hurt, bro. And I thought he was going to be the best running back in Chiefs history. I think he had that potential to surpass Priest and Jamal and everybody, you know. So, that sucked.
Yeah, but y'all got Clyde the Glide now, so.
That's a fact.
Yeah, he ain't going to do it. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going
We
to.
still got Damian Williams.
I'm not saying we need a running back. I'm not saying we need anybody to fill a hole.
I'm just saying, DeRay. We
for
still got Damian Williams.
We need a running back.
got plenty of running backs.
None that show up in the regular season.
We got Mahomes for that.
Eh.
I wouldn't want Mahomes running around that much. I'm gonna just keep it.
I'm not saying to run. I mean, we could pass the ball.
No
60.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it 60 times a game.
I'm gonna say if he got to throw it 60 again, do it.
Fuck it.
Coach, it's 3rd and 1. Hail Mary.
4 verticals.
Hit Hill on the fucking go route.
Hey, bro.
Jet chip wasp.
That's still some shit. I'm mad, man. Like, I'm actually kind of mad that y'all didn't go get Henry Ruggs. I really wanted to see that.
I'd have been mad if we went out and got him.
Yeah, we didn't
Really?
need him.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't need
Y'all
him.
don't, but that's what makes it fun. Pour it on.
I feel it.
Nigga, I'm trying to see a team of track stars. That's what I want to see.
But at the end of the day, how many people can really keep getting the ball every game? I guess you throwing it 60 times.
Exactly.
Fuck
Everybody,
it.
you get
right,
a ball.
fuck
You
it.
get a ball. Everybody gets a touchdown.
You right.
Nah,
Fuck
then niggas gonna start arguing.
Oprah Mahomes.
All right, family. You're not throwing me the ball.
Hey, you know who gonna be the first one that's gonna say that? Sammy Watkins. Get your bitch ass off the team. Peace, nigga.
I'll cut him as soon as he says some
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not. You're not what? Say it. I say it.
Bro, I hate Sammy Watkins for the simple fact that he's like, I feel like he's the one that we don't need necessarily. Like,
Which is perfect why we have him.
he serves a purpose, and I hate it because he's always like, when we really need it, he's
shows
always there, and I'm just like,
Yep.
fuck.
Because he justifies himself being
Exactly.
there.
But he'll fucking miss 5-6 games,
Yep.
and then I'm just like,
The fucked up part about Sammy Watkins is he could easily be a top 5 wide receiver if you wanted to.
If it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
for health issues.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
easy money. Easy.
Not
money.
even health. I think it's like, I think it has something to do with just personal determination or something.
I think it's
I can see that.
because
I think it's both.
health. It's
Yeah.
health too, but it's got to be something else.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
only health. You know what I mean?
Because, like, bro, in fucking Buffalo, who did he have throwing in the ball? Half
Tyrod
Tyrod
Taylor.
Taylor and somebody, like,
Nathan Peterman.
nah, this was before Peter Meme.
Peter mean.
Bro, because you throw 5 picks in a game.
Hey, nah, I see it on Twitter.
It
where
may have
somebody,
been. It may have been Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned him was like, where's Peterman at? Because it was like a GOAT list, and whoever replied to it was like off doing GOAT shit. I was like, I'm done with
But
Twitter.
even
for
with,
right
like
now.
with Sammy Watkins, bro, I thought he was leaps and bounds above Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl. Really, kind of in the, I want to say the couple playoff games before that too.
I
Well,
agree.
I
I
think-
agree.
He
I think-
outplayed Tyreek.
I think.
Well,
Yeah, that's true. But Hill was covered more than Watkins.
yeah, and I feel like
I just think-
they're so different as receivers
Yeah.
that because Tyreek showed up in the in all the games, but I feel what you're saying because you remember the Sammy Watkins plays,
Right.
other than the Wasp, obviously. But anyways,
I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
my bad.
For me, I guess number 2, most hurtful moments in sports was what was it, 2011 when we lost to the Heat. I thought we had a legitimate shot. Who was it? Taj Gibson. I'm talking about he like yammed all over Wade.
Wade, yep. That
Like,
was game 1.
Yeah, bro, I was just like, let's fucking go.
Yup.
They ain't ready. Fuck the Heatles. And then niggas got spanked. And, and like, I had to show up at school just like looking like, I got
Niggas
egg
lost
on my face.
the next 4 games, bro. The fucked up part about that series is game 5, niggas was ahead by 10 with 3 minutes to go. And D-Wade and LeBron put on a show and won the fucking series that night.
Damn.
Depressing.
Niggas was hitting 4-point plays. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
that's rough.
It just wasn't in the cards.
I was at Wingstop watching the game and shit. That's how I got fired.
I forgot about that.
He worked at Wingstop. Oh shit.
Bro,
Nice.
And then the following season, rose towards ACL.
Bad. It was bad.
Like that's when like the pit of despair that is the Bulls started.
It was bad.
It opened and so yeah, that's definitely number 2 for your boy.
I feel it, bro.
You feel me?
All right, I'm gonna go with something a little obscure in Mizzou losing to Derrick Rose's Memphis team. What was that? 2008, I want to say. That's the year KU won.
Yeah.
And I legit thought we had a chance to win the national title that year. Like, legitimately.
Oh, 2000, yeah.
With
That's
Damari
right. That was
Carroll
Damari Carroll.
and... Man,
Oh, you was serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was serious. Yeah.
I thought we had a better chance with Phil Pressey.
Fuck Randy.
We did. I mean,
That's all right. That's the only sport that he can talk anything about.
College was.
That's all they got. KU, basketball.
Okay.
And that every KU
I
fan
know.
does that same shit, and it never makes me not mad.
Let's talk about one of my favorite sports moments of all time.
Let's do it.
Walking out of Missouri versus Kansas at Arrowhead after everyone going into the game, all the KU fans was like, "Oh, we about to beat y'all ass. Mizzou sucks. They're not even that good," because it was not Chase Daniel, but Blaine Gabbert. It was his team. And Mizzou ended up winning a barn burner, like 48-45, last second field goal. And we come out and all of a sudden, oh, it's basketball season. What? Oh, it's basketball season now, huh?
Hey,
oh, okay.
You
sure
what
that
side
was-
of the river are you from, bro?
you sure that was Blaine Gabbert's
Missouri,
team
bro.
then?
Word.
Because they,
Right, just
when
making
was
sure.
it when they were number 1 and number 2?
No.
That was Chase Daniel.
Fuck
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Cause I just had to check and see what side of the river Randy is from.
Just in my defense, when I started watching college basketball, I was in Kansas. I lived in Kansas.
So you were corrupted.
Yes, I was. And niggas had Kirk Heinrich and Drew Gooden, nigga. I'm sorry. The niggas was cold.
I feel you, and it's too late now to turn back.
Yep.
Forever unclean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Randy is forever unclean.
I went to that game with Bryce, too. That's
Oh,
another
boy.
kicker
Oh, yeah, look.
who
Don't get me started on that, man.
grew up a Mizzou fan and swapped over to Kansas. He will
soon
never
as he moved
he
to
will
Lawrence.
swear he never.
Oh, yeah.
That's worse than me.
He swears he was never a Mizzou
And then this
fan
is the same dude who was a Red Sox fan for like 3-4 years.
because of 2004,
Yep. Like, it was ugly, bro.
and
That's
then
worse than me.
came back home.
Yeah. Like, motherfuckers judge me for being a Patriots fan. I've stayed consistent. Ups,
Fair
downs.
enough.
That is a judgeable offense, though.
It is
because we
judgeable.
know how bad you want to come back.
No.
Closet Chiefs fan over
No, I
here,
don't.
wearing red and everything.
Bro,
He got season
wait.
tickets. He
I
wearing
feel-
red.
Nigga, I'm finessing those season tickets.
Bruh.
I'm trying to get a bag off you bitches.
Go Chiefs. Hey,
I got tickets right here. What's up? $170. What's happening? I'll let you boy.
You gonna be out there with one of them signs, need tickets.
I'll let you boy. I'm gonna start airdropping pictures of the tickets to people.
Hey, yo, hey, when I was in Charlotte, went to a Hornets game, right? I had motherfuckers follow me to the entrance, saying, "Hey, you need tickets? We got tickets." I got them on my phone. Hey, but you need tickets? They literally followed me to the entrance, and finally I turned around and showed them my tickets. And, I got some cheaper ones. I was like, "Really? I got these for $2." Oh, okay. They went the other way.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What app is that? He looked at my phone and everything. I was like, game time. Shit hard.
He was trying to make sure your shit was legit.
And he seen it and was like, oh shit, hey.
Hey,
They
bro,
walked
you
off.
got some tickets for $2, guys?
It was a preseason game.
Fuck that.
But I
Still.
got to see Kyrie. It was when he was with the Celtics.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, $2?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Good shit, bro. Even when like the Heat was playing here at the Sprint Center for preseason games, bro, I was.
But that's an out of market game, you got to think. Like,
Fair
I was
enough.
in Charlotte at their arena.
All right,
so,
you right.
I mean, we got tickets
Boy,
to the
as soon
Chiefs
as
games for
LeBron went there,
$5.
them shits dried up.
Mm.
As soon as LeBron went to Miami, them shits dried up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they don't come here at all no more, do they?
Ew.
They have any NBA
They
preseason
did
games?
one when LeBron was here. When LeBron was with the Heat. They did one.
They did one.
Preseason, yeah.
Cause bro, I thought they had like straight cut that deal off. But I mean, shit,
I
they
was like, I
basically
ain't going to Kansas City.
they basically did shit.
Uh,
Crazy shit. Yeah,
Rapskis?
that
For
was,
the
way,
Podskis.
that was way too awkward. I'm sorry. Wow. I ain't heard a silence that awkward in a minute. That's Rapskis for the Podskis. This has been the SchroBanks Show, live from Rated R Studios. I'm Ray. I've been here with Papa Schroeder,
Yo.
Rated R Randy,
Mm-hmm.
and my man EDJ.
Yep.
I thought he farted at the end. All right, that's all.